Crossbow maintenance. Regular inspection and maintenance will extend the life of your crossbow. Always be sure that your crossbow is uncocked and unloaded before conducting any maintenance on it, and always wear safety glasses while servicing it. The best maintenance program begins by thoroughly checking for worn, loose, damaged, or missing parts every time you prepare to use your crossbow. If you notice excessive fraying or cut strands on the string and/or cables, do not use your crossbow until replacing them because they could break and cause serious personal injury. To extend the life of your string and cables and to keep them from drying out and deteriorating, wax them every 75 to 100 shots or at the beginning of each season if you don't shoot frequently. Apply a liberal amount of wax and burnish or rub it into the string and cables only. Do not wax the string's center serving. Waxing the serving will cause a buildup of wax in the trigger box and eventually prevent the string from latching properly. Regardless of the number of shots you fire, change both the string and cables every 2 to 3 years. Lubricating your flight rail is also essential. Use a high-quality barrel or rail lubricant such as TenPoint's flight rail and trigger lube to increase arrow speed, reduce friction, and extend the life of your center serving. Apply a small drop of lube on each side of the top of the rail, then spread it along the barrel with your finger. Lubricate the flight rail every 75 to 100 shots. Too much oil, however, can break down your string's center serving. Finally, don't use grease or petroleum jelly because they will attract dust and grit, eventually gumming up the trigger mechanism. Regularly apply a drop of lube to your wheels or cams and to their axles. Keep your trigger box dry and occasionally lubricate it. Apply a drop of lube oil in front of and behind the safety knob and through the safety slide window on the opposite side of the trigger box. Also, apply a drop inside the closed end of the trigger's string slot and on the pivoting portion of the dry fire inhibitor, or DFI. After using your crossbow in damp or wet conditions, dry its trigger parts by aiming a blow dryer through the various holes that lead into the housing's interior. Spray a small amount of WD-40 or comparable material inside the trigger box to displace the moisture and to avoid rust. Then apply a small amount of lube. Reverse draw crossbow owners must add a small amount of oil to the cam bushings, especially after exposure to damp or wet conditions. If your crossbow is equipped with an AccuDraw unit, make certain it is in good working condition. Prior to each use, examine the unit carefully. Periodically apply a light coat of wax to the draw cord. If you notice wear or fraying, do not use the AccuDraw until replacing the cords. A worn, frayed, or cut draw cord could break and send the claw flying with extreme force, which might cause serious personal injury. In addition, a dry fire could occur that could cause the limbs of the crossbow to break, again risking injury. Keep your AccuDraw dry and lightly oiled when not in use. Avoid getting the mechanism wet. If it does get wet, remove the covers, dry it with a hairdryer, and use a high-grade lubricant to keep it operating smoothly. If your crossbow is equipped with an AccuDraw 50 or Accu52, it will require little maintenance. However, regularly check its draw cords to make certain they are not worn, frayed, or cut, because they could break and cause serious personal injury. Also, periodically check the draw hooks for any damage. Do not use the AccuDraw 50 or Accu52 until you make any necessary repairs to them. Finally, if your crossbow comes equipped with an illuminated scope, it requires a lithium 2032 watch battery. When you need to replace a battery, turn the light intensity dial cap counterclockwise to access the battery. Remove the old battery and insert a new one, positive side up. To be safe, you should carry a spare battery with you in your fanny pack when hunting.